Says, boss, it's bad. You need to get here.
We could see then that we weren't getting out.
Then I just started screaming like I'm in a tornado and started praying.
I was actually home when the storm started coming through. It wasn't until my dispatch called and said, okay, it looks like we have a tornado that's touching down on the West Bank.
Like many tornado events, there were multiple tornadoes that day. Jefferson Parish took a direct hit.
During that workout, the power went off, and it sounded like a train, and then this big, loud bang, like boom. And then the power came back on. I was like, man, what was that? A few minutes later, another officer comes running in the gym because the tornado hit the building. So I went outside, and when I came into the parking lot, the roof had ripped off, and all the debris was everywhere in the parking lot.
Even though a large part of their building had suffered major damage, they knew a central command post was needed to help the people of Jefferson Parish. As they set up the command post, sheriff's deputies were dispatched to help other people affected by the tornadoes.
We owe it to our citizens to be there quickly to work through their problem.
After the storm passed, in addition to helping all the folks in need, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Department now had to deal with the massive damage done to their headquarters. This devastating storm is forever embedded in the memory of those who were impacted, including the first responders who put their own needs aside to help everyone else.
I went to the drugstore, and when I come out, the winds was like nothing I've ever seen in my life.
As Michael started driving, the tornado hit his truck.
And next minute, boom, it came down on me. All of it was coming towards me.
The twister began churning up the car lot next to Michael's truck.
They got bricks coming out this car lot. I'm looking at cars flip upside down.
Suddenly, the tornado lifted Michael's truck right off the ground.
Then I just started screaming like I'm in a tornado. Then I just balled up and put my head down towards the steering wheel and started praying. And then it just popped me out.
The twister would throw Michael's truck hundreds of feet. He landed about a block away from where he started. Shockingly, Michael kept driving.
It was probably about 5 minutes, and I said, we gotta go. We got to go.
Greg, along with his wife and mother-in-law, rushed down to their underground storm shelter in their garage.
I saw the storm was right across the road from us, and all of a sudden it just got real quiet, real still, and all of a sudden just rattling noise, and then the world started shaking, and I could feel the ground shaking beneath my feet.
The three braced for impact as the tornado pummeled the earth above their heads.
The event itself lasted approximately 30 seconds, and it was the most violent 30 seconds I've ever encountered. But it was terrifying, terrifying.
But as quickly as it came, the tornado was gone. The three were unharmed, but now they were facing something just about as terrifying.
I came up the steps and tried to push up on the shelter door, and it wouldn't budge. So I got my axe and hit on it and realized there's something heavy on this thing.
What Greg didn't know was that a huge red oak tree had crashed through the garage and was blocking the cellar doors.
We could see then that we weren't getting out.
Thankfully, Greg's wife had her phone, and she called 911. The 911 operator immediately dispatched first responders.
Because of the way it was situated, there could only be one person at a time cutting on this tree. You pull the wrong piece and it's gonna collapse totally.
Realizing that the rescue could take hours, if not days, Officer Oliver had to find a different way to get that trapped family out.
So I went through the house into the garage that way, and I saw a light flashing off the wall, and eventually I was able to trace the source of the light to under some rubble, but this looked like, to me, a much easier, safer way to get them.
Piece by piece, they removed the wreckage blocking the entrance to the cellar until a portion of the door was exposed.
And once we were able to cut a door open, we were able to reach inside and grab the victims and pull them from the storm shelter and escort them out.
When they all stepped out of the cellar, Greg and his family could see firsthand the full extent of what they had just survived.
As I looked around after we came out of the hole, it shocked me just how much damage was done in such a short period of time. It was so quick, so violent, but there was so much torn up. I was just overwhelmed by how many people were actually here. The fire and sheriff's department neighbors, people I've never seen, never met before. That was very, very heartwarming to see those people there.